My name's Cash Star, and I'm rocking with Pursuit of Dopeness. Yep.
Cash Star, thank you for sitting down with us, man. Really appreciate it. We appreciate you taking this time right here at a Fort Knox. This is an incredible place. I got lost every single time that you walked us through these halls. And I think you should just get some praise just for knowing how to get around this damn place.
Thank you.
So yeah, again, thank you so much for sitting down with us. We've been listening to your 2021 album. You got some stuff that you're cooking up for 2022 already. You don't stop. Guess that's where that whole Cash Star name came from too. Got to stay on top of everything. So yeah, again, appreciate the sneak peek of Unruly. Yeah. So what made you go right into it so quickly, just a year in?
So basically, I mean, I'm always working on music. So every top of the year, like, I have a crazy vault. Like, I think I can sit down and not make music for a while and still have music to drop for a while. So basically, everything you see me drop at the top of the year is music from the past year that I really felt invested into. So I save it, just drop it, and organize it as a project.
How hard is it for you to then go into that vault and decide which ones are the ones that the public gets to see or hear?
I kind of just know when I hear it. It's not really too difficult for me to decide which ones I want. And the guys really like it too. If the guys been bumping it all year, like, I know the people are gonna love it too.
Has there been any music that has been sitting in the vaults and it just somehow didn't make the cut for the next project? But then you go back to it and you're like, yo, it's time.
It's time. No, not really. Like, if I'm not feeling something, I'm just not feeling it. It just stays there. Maybe in the future I may feel that way about something, but yeah, nothing on the tape has been that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to get a feel for your like creative process. Obviously, like I said, it hasn't even been a year for people to be processing your last album, and you're already busy coming out with a new one. So it's obviously impressive to see all of that. And so going into the next project, Unruly, so you actually previously worked with 6 of the 7 producers that are being featured on the project. Why is it important for you, or like how important is it for you to have that core, that solid team of engineers and producers around you?
I mean, it's very important because every guy has their own sound. So when you're dealing with people that have their own sound, it creates something beautiful. Like, it creates something unique. And plus, all the producers you see me with, engineers, like, we've known each other for years, so they know what I like, I know what they like, and it makes the process super easy.
Right. Yeah, and it's definitely a testament to figuring out who you guys are. Both, the identity of, yourself as an artist, a producer, engineer, all that good stuff. So the project features a wide range of styles and different feels. Do you get the sense, though, that there are many tracks on Unruly that fans will be surprised to hear?
Yeah, I feel so, because, I mean, the title of the tape is Unruly, and obviously Unruly means there's no rules. I try not to be too much in one sound. I try to dip in and out. Like, you may hear one song and think, oh, he's a drill artist. You may hear one song and think, oh, he's a plug artist. But really, I just do everything, and I do everything my way. Yeah.
So how do you decide when you, like, your way just means something totally different from the day before?
It's a vibe thing. I just go off a vibe. I hear something, I like it, and that's really it. Yeah.
Cool. What are some of the songs that you're most excited for fans to hear on the new project?
I'm really excited for another one, Pretty, and Vivian. I haven't really released something. I've had vibes like that before, but I feel like all the people that have been listening to me, like, like, he kind of brought back that style. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Is Vivian a real person, or is this just the creativity coming out of you?
So like, it's not even a real person. It's a creative thing. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, like I watch. Okay, you could technically say it is. You guys seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, one of the characters is like Vivian or whatever. I mean, she's not from the UK, but it just sounds like a name from the UK. So I was like, oh, like it just sounded like something catchy to say, but that kind of inspired me to just come up with the name and everything.
Aunt Viv.
Yeah, Aunt Viv.
You did Aunt Viv.
Yeah.
Vivian's on Aunt Viv.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yo, shout out to Aunt Viv. Like she does not get enough praise.
Oh, it's true. Great show too.
Yeah, thank you for doing your part in giving giving Aunt Viv her flowers. Both of them, actually. Yeah.
True.
So, how does this release feel different from your past releases?
It feels different because I feel a lot more mature, and not to say I haven't had a vision in the past, but I really have a strong concept on this one, and really know where I'm going with this one, I would say.
Okay. And what is that concept?
It's kind of the same thing I was saying earlier. Just a different sound. Like I really want to dip and dab on different songs. Like I release pop songs, plug and B songs, darker tone tracks, everything, and really give it me. Really give it me, and people can feel me on those tracks. New fans do that.
Yeah, no, and it is interesting to see that you are multifaceted in that way and have different genres inspiring you. So you mentioned in the past that you enjoyed recording at home, right? That's a whole vibe in itself. But it's 2022. You've grown, you've progressed, and now you're taking your talents to a studio space like this. How have you felt like there's been an improvement? Has there been a change getting out of your element and then going into a studio like this now, like Fort Knox?
Yeah, I would say the reason why I've said that in the past is because, you go to a studio, you go there once, it doesn't feel like home. Like me coming to Fort Knox here, it became like a second home for me type stuff. Like there's days like I'm here all day, I sleep here. We're recording, we're doing everything in here, and then like I said, I'm always with the guys, so they make it feel like a home environment. Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Always good to find inspiration from wherever you're resting. Yeah. The majority of the tracks off of Unruly were produced, recorded, and mastered in a collaborative fashion.
Yeah.
So what was the thought process behind doing it that way? And how important was it to mostly collaborate in person with some of these producers and engineers that you have on the project?
I mean, the reason why we've done it that way is because everybody can just make it easy. I mean, everybody just knows how to do those things, and they know how to do it at a pretty high level. So that's why that comes out to be that way. As far as sorry, what was the second question?
How important was it to primarily collaborate in person?
Oh yeah, it's an energy thing with me and a vibe thing that we like collab in person, because you kind of can get, oh, this person doesn't like this. You can feel if I don't like this, and then everybody around me is pretty honest with each other, so it makes it simple.
Do you ever feel like you find inspiration from being present with everybody and being around these groups of people in person, so that maybe one of the tracks that are on this project are something that came out of being around this group of producers and engineers and other creatives?
Yeah, I would say with that, like you would have guys just going around, like we'll be in the room, not to say we play around, but they'll be playing around sometimes, and they'll like, oh, they might be like, oh, I don't think he's gonna like this. And then me just being around, like, nah, bro, like I like that. Like, let's build around that. Let's do this with this. And those end up being like really good songs. You never know what you can get, especially when people are around.
Perfect. So how did your relationship with Tommy White start?
Tommy White, I met him in middle school, and I don't know. It's been one of my guys ever since type shit. I've always had love for him. He's like a brother to me.
Does he inspire you in any particular way over some of your other friends and collaborators?
He's like one of my few like artist friends. So I would say he inspires me because he always pushes like to just push his sound. And I'm always in awe, like damn, bro, you really thought of that. Like you really chose this beat. You really did this and that. Like it's cool. Yeah.
great to hear. Shout out to Tommy White.
Yeah.
Has the way that you've actually delved into social media, I know we were talking about this a little bit downstairs, but has been like more active on social, inspired you, influenced you in any particular way in how you're approaching your craft, your music?
Yeah, with the social media, like the majority of this music is like it's marketing type thing. And when you're on social media, you know, the people who support you, they're on the social media stuff. You know, you get to contact them, talk to them, see how they feel about certain things. You know, show love, get love back. You know, it's very important. Social media is very important in this music stuff. Yeah.
Cool. I saw in a different interview that you mentioned that you started taking your music a lot more seriously, like in the last couple years.
Yeah.
Was it social media, or what was it that really made you feel like, yo, I need to really like hunker down and do something with this?
Just different people telling me that I'm talented and I should just take it serious. I mean, there's not really much. Obviously there's other things I could do. There's not really much other things I have like a passion for. So, you know, you have a passion for something you're talented at, like, okay, you got to take it serious if you want to do anything with it in general. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I can tell like that passion is, you know, definitely demonstrated once you get into the records, once you get into the music itself. And so much so that you started getting some traction overseas.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about like how that came about and what kind of response you've received from the fans?
So I started getting like traction in Eastern Europe, and I don't know, like a bunch of like Eastern Europe people just started hitting me up, pages. I know like a page made a post, and after that post, it kind of just, I just developed a whole bunch of Russian, Ukrainian fans, Kazakhstan, places like that, and like they're diehard fans of music. Like those people love music.
That's dope.
So they're like my favorite people to like talk to on the internet and stuff like that.
That's incredible. Yeah. When you hear something like that, like, yo, we have nothing else in common except for this. So it's great when you can bridge the gap in that way.
They don't even understand some of the words I'm saying, and it still connects. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. Any of the other like inside jokes or like local references too.
Yeah.
So the fact that it hits, like, you got to give props to that. So shout out to Kazakhstan, Russia, and the Ukraine.
Yep.
I know a couple people in the Ukraine. Well, from the Ukraine. It's not the same. So can you tell us also a little bit more on your experience at the Underdog show in LA?
Yeah. So it was a show I got hit up to do in LA. It was a dope experience. It was my first time going to LA, so that was a vibe by itself. I made some good songs out there too. I would say at the show, people were receptive. A lot of people came up to me. They liked what I was doing, and it was a great way to connect with different people too. Because I know I have like some people that support me out there. It was good to like meet them, talk with them, see what it's like, see what they listen to, see what they enjoy. Yeah.
Cool. So you mentioned creating some songs out there. Were they before or after the show?
When did I make these songs? Oh, yeah, it was after the show. It was after the show for sure. I
got some inspiration.
Yeah, the next day, or like even that night, I think even like that night I recorded Money Fetish off the project out there. A couple days later when we were in LA, I recorded Fall Off. That was dope. We went to the studio. Other ones I recorded, Money Fetish I recorded inside the Airbnb we were at. So that was cool. I like to send up, kind of brought me back to that vibe. Like, oh, I'm sitting over here in the crib, we record. I was a little drunk.
Yeah,
it's cool. It was a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of that vibe, we were talking about this a little bit off camera, but these songs that you're referencing, we caught a little sneak peek into them. They definitely sound like LA songs. Why do LA songs, do you think? Why do you think LA songs sound like LA songs?
Shoot. Question. Like I said earlier, I mean, it's a vibe. I feel like at the speed that they move, they make music at that speed. Like in Chicago, like we make faster music. Everything's kind of fast paced. I mean, that's It's the city we're in. Out there, it's just everything's just chill. So I think like they make chill music just based off of that. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you see yourself like maybe doing a little LA residency and doing a whole project?
No, I definitely want to, especially in this year even. But whenever that opportunity arises, like I'm down for it. Me and the guys talk about it.
Cool. So yeah, on top of the show, you know, the one that we just referenced, you also made an effort to continue work on vacation. You know, you recorded a few videos and songs out there too. Like the visual for Call Me When You're Alone, parts of the upcoming visuals for Pretty. So again, LA is getting a lot of love in this interview, but what made creating these art pieces in a completely different environment from what you're used to so special for you?
I've always wanted to go to LA, so that made it special. Like, every time I listen to Biggie, like, you know, I'm going back to Cali. I'm like, damn, that's a vibe. You could tell, like, you know, he's inspired by that. That's a vibe right there. So I always wanted to just catch that vibe out there. And LA's it's just dope in general. Fashion, everything out there is just dope. So I really look for that. Like, I know now, like, in the future, if I ever go out there, it's like, I feel like I'm gonna make the best music in my life if I ever live in LA type stuff. It's gonna happen one day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're close to wrapping up this portion of it. Do you have any highlights from 2021 that really just speak to you the most, and just the things that you're most proud of from what happened last year?
I don't like talking about numbers, but I would say numbers was something I'm very, like, my numbers in general. I was very happy about that. Like, that was cool. You know, a lot of people were streaming last year, and it just shows growth. That's why I really enjoy that. Visuals, I released a lot of good visuals last year. And the quality of music last year is just way better than the past years. Engineering-wise, lyrically-wise, you know, I really worked on my pen. I really worked on that, like, heavily. And yeah, even my guys, them progressing, that was a highlight last year too. Chris, Save Rango, he's a producer of mine, a homie of mine, older mine. Alex Redhart, Dave Canho, we all progressed last year. That was the biggest highlight, I would say.
Great. I just want to give a shout out to Call Me When You're Alone. Yeah. That's my highlight for you.
Oh yeah,
I just like the song.
Yeah, that's my favorite song I wrote last year.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So I would like to know a little bit more about the project itself, but before that, other than releasing that, like, is there anything else in 2022 that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to more shows. I know we're in this COVID period, we're in a pandemic, so, you know, things are pretty tough. But you know, I want to get on festivals, shows in general. Yeah, I mean, I want to drop music at a higher rate, and just to see how it is. That's something I'm excited about, and a lot more visual content.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and to finalize, what do you want your fans, or what do you want listeners to get out of listening to Unruly?
I want them to get that you don't have to be stuck in a box. You don't have to do something because you're in a certain environment, especially, like, how would I put it, type thing. Being a black kid in a certain community type thing, you know, like, some people may be like, oh, you gotta make this type of music, or a kid in the urban community in general, like, you gotta make this type of music. Like, bro, I'm from the city, bro. I make pop songs. Like,
yeah,
you don't see that
good.
every day. Yeah, and they sound good. Like, that caught people off guard when I did that. You know, you want to open up people's ears, give them an experience. So that's what I want you guys. I want you guys to get out of Unruly. You know, don't be afraid to try new stuff. Don't be afraid to go against the grain, and be you.
Perfect. Thanks so much for sitting down and talking to us, man. Listen to Unruly.